Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a guide slash playthrough walkthrough for the Unity Cup. So I wanted to make a guide initially for the new scenario that just dropped last week. But I realized that rather than me doing a traditional guide where I just give you pointers and tell you what to do, it would be much beneficial if I basically do a career. And rather than me telling you what you need to do during your career, I will do a career myself and explain to you the decision making behind every action that I take, and why do I choose to train my Umas in a specific way that is more tailor-made for the new scenario. I feel like this way it's much easier for people to learn. So yeah, without further ado, let's start. So for this particular video we will train a Vodka for the upcoming Virgo Cup, which should start in a few days from the moment I am recording this. The reason I chose Vodka is because, well, we all know that we don't really have much time between the Leo Cup, which was the previous CM, and the Virgo Cup, which is the next one. And between these two, we also had a new scenario. We had the quality of life updates, which changed a lot of what we know about the game, and also made it very hard to train new Umas for the new Champions Meeting, right? So I chose Vodka because Vodka is Uma that is very easy to train, right? She's not one of my favorites in particular. Usually if I have to go with a late surger, I would rather go with Grass Wonder, since I like her way more. But Grass is a little bit more difficult to train than Vodka in my opinion. So I opted for Vodka this time because I don't really have much time. So I'm going with Umas that are very easy to train. So when it comes to Vodka, I highly recommend running with Nice Nature, because she has on your left, which is a skill that you really want on your late surgers. It's a gambling skill, so that it's very important. Yeah, but without further ado, let's start the career. Let's skip. And I will walk you through everything. I will walk you through every decision I make, the logic behind every decision I make. I'm hopeful that maybe we get lucky with this run and we can make a good ace. If not, I will wait until the daily reset and try again with a better parent. For starters, the first two turns are just like in Uari Finale. You choose basically the spot with the most support cards to build your friendship, and don't bother going for training in specific stats to raise the level of the training, because as most of you know, in the Unity Cup the training facility level is tied to basically your team level. So training on a specific facility won't help you raise that facility. So it's much better to choose a stat where you have more Umas, but this only applies for the first two because these are normal runs. I'm going Guts because I want to build a little friendship with my speed cards a little bit faster than the rest. Of course I'm going with because I have two support cards here. Also we get a hint from Kita-san. Hints are important early on, not only because it can be a useful skill, but also because inheriting a skill from a support card also adds bonus friendship. So it's important to make sure that you take advantage of this bonus friendship to raise the friendship bar of each Uma, to get to the rainbow trainings as fast as possible. And now, as you saw, we had the people join our team. So from this moment on, we will try to prioritize some of the spirit training, right? Which is this this arrow on top of the support card. Now, a lot of people have asked me in the past if should you prioritize friendship training or should you prioritize this new mechanic to make sure that you have as many spirit bursts as possible. And in an ideal world, you want to prioritize both, but you really you really can't, unfortunately. And it's a very tricky situation because, as a rule of thumb, I would say that in early race I would prioritize, which is the junior year and most of the classic year, I would prioritize the spirit training and bursting as many bubbles as possible. And in the later parts of the career, which is the senior year, I would prioritize friendship training. Simply because at this point our facilities are level 1, so even if you do friendship training, you won't get that much benefit. The benefit from bursting a bubble is a lot higher at this point. But after you manage to level up your facilities to level 4 and especially 5, you will slowly realize that friendship training is a lot more efficient. But of course, if you can get both and also have friendship training and spirit training at the same time, it would be awesome. But we all know that that's not always possible. I also want to say that, again, there is no hard rule for anything in this game. It's also dependent on what do you want to do, right? If you are building an ace, as I am doing now with my Vodka, watch out for your stats. See what stat is lacking. If you see that your speed is lacking and if you think that you cannot max it out by the end, and you know that it's a stat that it's very important for you, prioritize that stat. It doesn't matter that maybe you have some more arrows in another training, but if you can get the power threshold on time by the end of your career, prioritize power. That's what I say. It's a very case by case. When people are asking what should I prioritize, it's not a singular answer. You should prioritize this. You always need to pay attention to your specific career, what is happening. You always need to keep in mind what's your goal with this career and make adjustments based on that, right? Again, if you don't care, if you don't want to build an ace, you only care to make, and you want to make a Numa reach S rating, right? Then you prioritize stats, purely stats. You don't really care what you click on the trainings that will give you the most stats. You don't really care which are those specific stats. For example, a lot of the times I stop training wheat and guts by the end, even if I have a lot of Umas that are in those particular trainings, and training them would give me a higher rating, but these stats don't help me that much in Champions Meeting. So if I'm training an ace, I will ignore them mostly, especially guts after 300, 400, I really don't bother with it. And with after 600, unless you're training a front runner, in my opinion, it's overkill. I saw so many people with 1k wheat for their aces, and in my opinion those are wasted stats. Even if you will probably gain more raw stats in wheat, I would much rather train my stamina or my power, which I know that will help me a lot more during the race for an ace, right? So again, it's all, everything is dependent on the circumstances of your run and what do you want to train that Uma for. But in this case, we will, in this case, as you can see, I don't really have much of a choice, so I'm going with King Halo because it's on wheat and I prefer wheat over guts, to be honest. And it's also a speed card, and like I said, I want to reach higher friendships with my speed support cards as fast as possible. Now we don't really have a choice here since we only have we only can train power this time, but it never hurts to look around. For example, I have two cards in wheat, which I can see some people training wheat in this situation, but I would still recommend prioritizing this early, prioritizing the spirit training. When you have the tourney event extra training, it's always recommended to choose the bottom option and take the energy. The energy is always a lot more valuable. And why do I say that you need to prioritize a little bit early on the spirit training is because this will also affect the stats of your team, and if your team is lacking, you will most likely lose the Unity Cup. So you need to make sure that your team is also in a pretty good state to win the races, right? I will go with wheat this time, even though Matikane Fukukitaro is one of my support cards. When you're training for speed training, it's not that important that the speed training doesn't necessarily needs to be on one of your sports cards. I saw some people who thought that the up arrow must be, if it's on one of your supports, it has an extra effect. It doesn't really have. I chose it because here I can raise my friendship with both Nice Nature and Sweep Tosho, and I also get spirit training with Rice Shower. Now Rice Shower, of course, is not in my deck. It's not a support card for me. She's just a scenario link that is here to help me. But it doesn't matter if the spirit training appears under a Uma that is in my support deck, or it's just a random Uma that the scenario gives it to you. Hot and cool. Now we have two choices. We either go speed 20 or we go both power and speed but 10. I think I'll play it safe because the requirement for power is 900 for this specific Champions Meeting. So I can't really tell if I can reach that requirement this early on, right? So if this choice would have been presented to me later on during the career and I was confident in myself that I can get over 900 power, I would have probably gone with the speed. But right now I'm not really sure yet, so it's better to take a balanced approach. Again, not much of a choice here. I'm going with although let me look around. You can make an argument that maybe going with speed could be beneficial because you are racing speed. First of all, speed is an important stat. and you are raising your friendship level with 3 different support cards. Whereas here you are raising your friendship level only with 1 and you get a spirit training. So in this situation, for example, and if you look at the raw stats that you gain from this, you get a lot more from training speed here. So in this situation, I don't think there is a wrong answer here per se. And you know what? I think I will go with speed here. Now, if I had 2 spirit trainings on wheat, I would have gone wheat. It looks like the date just changed. Give me a moment. Whew. And we are back. Sorry about that. Now, let's see what do we have here. Now, this is a no-brainer. We're going with guts. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually going with guts. Now, I know that guts was buffed, right, during the recent update, but still don't be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. It's still the least important stat. Yes, it has more uses, but it's still not a stat I would prioritize unless you get something like this. Again, I will go with guts this time because I get to train friendship with 3 different support cards and also 2 of them also have spirit training, so it's a no-brainer. Now, we can either go power or stamina, and in this situation, power looks a lot more appealing. Yeah, I thought that might happen. As a matter of fact, when it comes to training, I set a rule for myself. If it's under 20%, I go for it. If it's over 20%, I rest. And unfortunately, this time I lost the bet, right? Now, when it comes to the choices, I usually go with the top one. Sure, here I may get lucky and get practice perfect, but I can also lose more energy, right? So I would rather not take that risk. 14%. Now I could either go power and have spirit training with Kita-san and Taiki and also raise my friendship with Kita-san, or I could go guts here. No, I think power is better here. Yeah. Again, 14% failure chance, so who knows, maybe we are really unlucky and lose this one as well. No. Awesome. As you can see, I have spirit training in all my stats right now. Should I go with wheat? I think I will go with wheat because again I could raise my friendship with Kita-san here, and I also want to raise. You also want to raise your friendship with Riko Kashimoto as fast as possible because you need to have her in green for her to appear and to unlock her dating events, right? So I will take wheat here. And it's also the first training with her, so we'll get a nice event that gives me a little bit of stamina, guts, and a mood up. And we're going wheat again. Again, extra training. Maybe we are getting lucky and we don't even need to rest here. Junior, make the boot. Okay, so the first race. Another trick for your first race that I recommend doing is always change your position to front run. Because at this point you still don't have the stats to guarantee that you will always get first place, and especially as a late surger, you risk getting blocked. Running as a front runner, even if you have G aptitude, won't really affect much. here. You will get a wheat penalty, which can usually will impact the activation of your skills. But at this point in the career, you don't really have any skills anyway, so this doesn't really do anything harmful to you. It's just making sure that your Uma will run in front and you don't risk getting blocked. So it's a strategy that I recommend to everybody. It doesn't matter what your proficiency is for that position, just run the first race as a front runner. Trust me, it's a lot more consistent in getting your first spot in your debut race than running your usual position, especially if you are an end closer or a late surger. Now I think we are going speed here again because we have the most Frenching training here, and also as you can see we are getting we are finally will be able to burst the bubble for Machikane Fuku Kitaru after this training. Always go with energy, unless you have a bad condition and you get a free cure for it. But it looks like this time we won't get so lucky, so we need to rest because we have no good training in wit. Well rested, that's good. Okay, let's see, where's the bubble? It's in wit. I don't really want to use it right now. First of all, because my energy is full, so I lose on the extra energy that bursting bubble in wheat does. And you will see some people saying that it's not really recommended to burst bubbles on wheat at all because it gives you less stats than in other positions. But again, it's about the situation. I also pretty much avoid bursting bubbles in wheat unless I really need the energy, and it can save me from resting once or twice. But in this case, I really don't want to burst it now. So let's check guts, power, and stamina, and I will go with power here. Awesome, you also unlocked friendship training with Kita-san. Speed, gut, sweet. It's between wheat and speed here, but I will go speed because I value the stat more. Ho ho! Yeah, this is a no-brainer, as you can see. 3 spirit trainings, and I can raise my French level with 3 different support cards, and one of them is Riko Kashimoto, who I need to get to the green spot as soon as possible. Yeah, this is a no-brainer. I'll go with stamina. Alright, we can either go... Should I risk it? Yeah, let's risk it. And this would be a pretty good spot to go for bursting the bubble in wheat. Why? Because, as you can see, it will give me extra energy, and it may save me from needing to rest here. Yeah, let's go with. And also, I will increase my friendship with King Halo. So as you can see, that was a situation in which bursting my bubble on wheat was worth it. But if your energy is full, I wouldn't really recommend it. Nice, we increased some training facility levels. I will not burst the bubble with King Halo yet, because as you can see I have 4 spirit trainings here, which in my opinion are more valuable than just bursting the bubble here on stamina. Again, another thing, don't be pressured into bursting your bubbles as soon as possible. You can wait until it's on a stat that you prefer, or if you have another training that looks very appealing to you, that bubble won't go anywhere, right? Especially if you are early into your career. I can understand if you are towards the end of your career, because maybe you're afraid that the bubble won't come back, but I highly recommend don't be pressured to burst them as soon as they pop up. Yeah, we rest here. Hey, 10 energy for 20 speed, it's worth it. Alright, let's see what do we have here. I think in this I could go power and finally get Rico to green, but I would rather go guts because I get spirit training with 2 different support cards, and I also raise their friendship level. And as you can see, we got on your left, which is a very important skill for late surgers, and why I recommend running with nice nature with your vodka. You really want that skill. Now let's see, what do we have here? I can either go speed here or wit in this case. I will go wit, I'm sorry, I meant stamina, but as you can see, you get more raw stats from speed, but I will go stamina here because I really want a little bit more stamina. I want to make sure I'm not falling too behind when it comes to stamina, because Vodka has the Japanese Derby, which can be a bit of stamina check. You need to have at least 250 by that time, maybe even recommended maybe even 300 stamina to win it. Okay, and we have the first race. Now, if you don't have many skills, you can still keep your trainee on front to not risk getting blocked, but I don't really have skills, so I could definitely keep her on front, but I will go with late. I think that my stats are good enough at this point to win it. I usually don't buy skills until the end of the career, unless I struggle, right? Unless I have a bad run where I struggle, then I will buy some skills early. And usually if you have such a bad career that you struggle, it's a glue horse anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I will say with Umamusume Vodka you don't really need to buy because she has a very easy career, but there are Umas that are a little bit more complex and have harder careers where buying, I can totally see people buying skills to make their lives easier. Now we can either go friendship training here with Kita-san, but keep in mind it's a 19%, which is pretty high. Or we can go wheat here, and yeah, wheat is the answer. It's much better. And hey, we got the first round of the Unity Cup. Okay, so in order for you to get the maximum amounts of stats that you can get from the Unity, the rule of thumb is you can challenge the middle group once, and after that you need to always challenge the top one, right? But you might not be if you think that you might not be winning the top, choose the middle. I usually go first time the middle, because I noticed that the hardest rounds are usually the first and the second. Yeah, some people will say that the hardest round is against Rico's team. In my experience, it's not. I usually beat them pretty consistently unless I get really unlucky. But the hardest rounds for me are the first one and the second one. So I always go middle the first time, because at this point I'm still not very confident in my stats, right? It's still early, I'm still building up. One thing you can do is also click on select opponent, and you will get a rating from Tazuna and an approximation if you will win those races or not. Now, if you see that you have 3 triangles, 3 axes, don't take the risk. Go with the middle one. In this case, I will probably use my medium race, but I will most likely win. Now, of course, Tazuna might be wrong, we all know that. Please train more gets, but she's pretty consistent. But I don't want to take any chances, so I will go with the middle one. As you can see, I have double circles in all the tracks, so I'm not really worried that I might lose this one. And as you can see, we won every match. But from here on, I will always have to choose the top option. You only have one time when you can choose the middle option. And I always recommend it, do it or the first round or the second one. We have both friendship training and spirit burst. Now this is interesting because I have 3 different options, right? I can go with recover a bit of energy and also train my friendship up with Siptosha and also her spirit burst. I could go power, where I have 3 different spirit trainings, but Makitani Fukutaro already burst her bubble, so while it still counts as spirit training, in my opinion it's not that valuable, so keep track, because you can't really have another spirit explosion with her. Or I can explode here with Taiki Shuttle and get some extra stats. And I think I will go for the explosion with Taiki Shuttle. I can also see some people, I think you could very comfortably choose with here or speed. And it would be fine either way. Unleading Spirit, good. Late Surger Sevi, that's good. Ho ho! We have, like I said, and this is the ideal scenario when you have both friendship training and you can also burst a bubble here. Or I can burst 2 on stamina right here. Very interesting choice. But as you can see, I have a very high failure rate here and 60% here, and I would rather take my chances with speed, because I get more stats. Even if here I have 2, I still get more stats because of the friendship training. And lower failure rate. should we go with here? I won't really go, because even though we get a lot of energy back, it's not really enough to guarantee me that I can go another run. I would most likely will have to rest next turn, so it's not worth it. Most likely I will. The best course of action here is to rest. Now, this is a guarantee right-handed, so of course I will take it, even if I risk losing some energy, like I just did. But I need right-handed for this course. Now, holy! I think I will burst the bubble on both King Halo and Haru here, because we will get a lot of energy back, and we will also do a lot of spirit training here. And the stats are pretty good. My other option would be stamina, which doesn't look very good here. And also skill points. Another good thing about wheat training is skill points, and trust me, you need them. You need as many as you can get. Again, we rest. Recover some of that sweet, sweet energy. And we're already at sea. Now Tulip Show, it's a mile race. I don't really worry about it. Yeah, we lost Fuji. It happens. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. When you run a laser, you always run into the risk that you might get blocked. So there's nothing much you can do there. I think I will go. I will go with in this case. Let's see, maybe we get something good after the inspiration. Uma Stan, we got Uma Stan, awesome, awesome. That's a skill that's a really, really good skill that you want on any Uma that is not a front runner. Now, let's win the Okasho. 5th place! Come on. Okay, so now we have Tokyo Yushun, and I'm a little bit low on stamina. So if I have any good training on stamina in the next 2 turns, I will take it. This is the only race in Vodka's career where you might get a little bit stamina checked, to say so. I could either go wheat or power here, but I will go power because power gives me stamina. And I also want to get King Halo to be able to do friendship training with her as soon as possible. Now, would 14 stamina really be that useful here? Not really. I get 2 more from Eiko, but that wouldn't really help. Because it doesn't bring me up a threshold, right? So I think I will go speed here just because I want to get King Halo to orange. We also learn Prepare to Pass, which is a pretty good skill. But it might be Pace Chaser exclusive. Now let's see, do we win it? Ah, we won it! Like I said, sometimes you win, it's very inconsistent, but I've noticed that sometimes the Japanese derby might stamina check me if I neglect stamina, if I train for mile or sprint, and I'm really neglecting my stamina. I think it's also depending on the position. Since Vodka runs as a late surger, she doesn't consume as much stamina, but I think if I had trained a pace chaser, for example, here, this stamina might have run out. So we can either go guts here and train to spirit trainings, or either go with rainbow training here. Now, doing training here doesn't bring much benefit because we already burst our bubble with Kita-san, and as you can see, nature doesn't really have spirit training right now on. But I think it's better because we get a lot more stats from this than going for guts. And we also get a skill from nature, not that it matters. Professor of Curvature, awesome. And yeah, we are going to rest here. Unfortunately, we still didn't get our event with Rico to unlock her dating stuff. You want that as early as possible. Oh, we have BNV. Now, honestly, this is the second race, and this is the race I'm the most afraid of during the entire run. As you can see, I might lose my long. Most likely I will lose in long. And if I'm really unlucky, I might also lose in mile and medium. So it's still a risk. Now, chances are I will win at least 3 races. But if you're really unlucky, you can lose here. Ah, we won all of them. Awesome. Got new members. And also it's time for summer. Now, one important thing during the summer, especially the first summer, is prioritize rainbows over spirit bursts. Now, if you get a very good spirit burst, yes, you can prioritize it. But why do you want to prioritize rainbows here? Is because all your facilities are level 5. So, during the summer, it's a good idea to make sure that you are hitting those juicy rainbows because they give you a lot more stats. And fortunately for us here, the best stat to actually train on is the one that we have a friendship rainbow on, so we are going to hit speed. Also we level up to B. Friendship training again. Now, and this is what I'm saying. I can either go friendship training, but as you can see, I have a very good wit training here for my spirit bird, so I will go wit here. I basically raise 5 spirit bursts here, so of course I'm going wit. And lastly, let's see. Yeah, we have double friendship training here. We are going speed. Now, if Rico would start appearing, I would be very grateful. I would normally pop this speed burst here because I need some more stamina. I'm to this point I was hoping that Rico would show up earlier, but I won't risk 40%. So we are resting. Finally, thank you, Rico. If you're using Rico, I'm assuming you know this. If you're using her, always go with the middle option in order to unlock her events. If you go top or bottom, you won't unlock the recreation events with her. Again, I don't want to go with here simply because I kind of wasted because I'm full energy, so I will burst my bubble on power here. And I don't need Lone Wolf. I have another Uma in my team that has Lone Wolf, so I won't get it on other Umas because I don't want to sabotage me. Now this is interesting because you see I have 3 trainings in God's spirit trainings, but Taiki and Haru already burst their bubbles, their spirit bubbles, so it doesn't do me as much good as I would hope. I could also go with recover a little bit of energy. Stamina, I think I will go speed here. Thank you, Rico. Shuka Show. Easy win. And we still have Ari Makinen this run, but as you can see it's running Ari Makinen. It will be a disaster because I have no stamina and it's Ari Makinen. Yeah, this is a no-brainer. As you can see, we are bursting the bubble in speed. This is again the optimal scenario where you have both friendship training and you can also burst a bubble. And as you can see, we are getting a disgusting amount of stats here. We are not even done with the classic year, and I already have. Rico also gives us a little bit of stamina. Thank you, Rico. We already have almost 800 stamina. And here we go with training. We get both energy back, friendship training, and we get to raise some spirit bursts. I'm going power here. Again, don't completely ignore your spirit bursts. You need them in order to raise the level of your team. Ari Makinen, it's running Ari Makinen. I honestly don't care. I will probably get last place. And by the time we reach the third round of the Unity Cup, we already have the stats and the team built to an extent where I'm not really afraid of losing. As you can see, I have double circles all around. Like I said, the first 2 rounds are the scariest. Won all of them. We get some juicy stats. New members, awesome. get more energy. Now I don't really want to burst my bubbling guts. Honestly, you could go anything here. Speed, power, or even wheat here. I think I will go power. Because I want to make sure that I reach that 900 and something power, and if you look at the difference, we don't really get that many stats when we train speed here. You can also go wheat, I think that would also be good, but I want to make sure that I can get that 900 power and I don't want to risk it. So we go power here. Hot spring ticket, what are the chances? At this point I don't even think we will get the opportunity to train with Rico. But we really should, because we won't reach the stamina threshold. Yeah, power here, no brainer. Alright, we can either go with stamina or speed. I'm really torn, because I would normally go with speed here, no brainer, right? But we are looking pretty decent on speed, and I'm a little bit worried about the stamina. Okay, fine, I'm going stamina. Maybe that was the wrong choice, I'm honestly not sure. We'll have to see. Should I go stamina again? You know what? I will train with Rico. So, for those of you asking, when should I train with Rico Kashimoto? Well, there are multiple instances. You can train to replace energy, but watch out, because Rico doesn't really give you that much energy. So if your energy is too low, it might be better to just rest, because you're risk training with Rico and still not recovering enough energy to do a training. Another situation when you want to train with Rico is when you really don't have any good training, and rather than waste your turn on a mediocre training, you might as well train with Rico. Yeah, we are bursting this bubble. And we finally got S in speed, which means we finally have level 5 speed training. So from this point, I would start prioritizing rainbow training in speed until max. Because at this point we get a pretty substantial amount of stats from it, right? So now it's worth prioritizing that. But as you can see, we are going with here. Alright. Maybe we get lucky and get an S in mile, maybe. Yeah, nothing really that useful. It is what it is. Wait, I didn't have enough friendship. I didn't have enough friendship with Rico, I think. Or its fans. No, I didn't have enough fans. No, if you lose levels on your unique skill, it doesn't matter that much. But I usually like to get all the events. But it is what it is. It's not the end of the run. I think I will go with here. I could have also gone friendship training on speed, But I usually, when I said I prioritize friendship training on speed, it's when I have at least two. For one, if you have a good spirit training, you can do it. You know what? I'll take the bubble in stamina. Victoria Mall should be an easy win. And keep in mind that summer is right around the corner. And next turn... So normally I would go Riker here, but since summer is right around the corner and next turn I have Yasuda-kin, I will rest to recover as much energy as possible for the summer training. And I will probably rush Rico at the end of the career, if the other stats are in a good position. But I really need more stamina. Hopefully we have a good summer training session. Nimble Navigator. And again, but we got one more training, huh? Yeah, I think I didn't calculate it well. I think I will go Rico. Because I don't want to waste energy before summer. And we don't have any crazy training. Yeah, this is a good spot to go Rico. Again, I'm not worried that I might lose this against the Majiros. Again, it's all double circle. We lost one. And to an NPC woman nonetheless. I saw that the long races are the most inconsistent ones. Now let's see. This is a no-brainer. We're going for speed here. We have 3 friendship training here. And we're S rank. Speed again. Now we might go something else. You know what? I will rest and hope that the last day of summer we'll have a crazy training on speed. Or not. You know, I took the risk. And let's go with here. Again, I'm at the point of the career when I don't really care about spirit bursts anymore. If they come, awesome. If they not, I won't prioritize them as much as I did in the beginning. And I will take speed because we might not hit the max speed if we are very unlucky. Yeah, I'm going speed again. I didn't want to go Rico because we had full energy. And I will burst this one on stamina. Outer spell, nice. Speed. Rico. Of course, after Rico, she gets a move down. But I think that in terms of stats we are kinda good. I think we will reach every threshold that I want to reach for a late surger for the scap, which is max speed, at least 630 stamina and at least 940 to 50 power. Yeah, we are going speed here. Rico, get that mood back, baby. Do I have practice perfect? You know what? At this point I don't even care. Give me the stats. If it was early in the career, I would have taken practice perfect. Speed again. And the last training with Riko Kashimoto. Rushing Gale, it's not a very good skill, don't be fooled by it. I mean, it's not bad, but there are other better skills. Now, what you want to do if you are not confident in yourself before the final race, always check your team, because the auto future is not really good and sometimes you'll make some weird decision. Now, I don't think it's the case right now. But from personal experience, if you have at least a B rank Kuma in every one of your teams, you will most likely win. Is there any outrageous? No, by the looks of it, this time the auto function was pretty spot on. But it's always, if you are feeling that you might lose, it's always safe to check and make sure that your auto future doesn't do something stupid like putting Urara on sprint or mile. Now you might still lose this one if you're really unlucky. Even if like you see, I have double circles all around, I might still lose this. It happens to me if you get really unlucky. But chances are we will most likely win. And we still lost again. It's median this time. We lost to I forgot her name. Think it's Bitter Glass, yes. Anyway, we get some nice stats from here. And for the rest of the run, we hope to get that we get some good trainings. I might go speed here, and it would be enough speed for me to, you know what, or should I go with? I think I will go with, and I think this is enough speed. I don't need to train speed anymore. I think we have enough to max speed, and we will go with this time, and for the rest of the run we will go either stamina or power, because those are the most useful. We will either way get to the threshold, but those are the most useful stats. At this point, I really don't need more wit or guts on Vodka. Sure, I can have a good rainbow training on wit and go for that and get more stats. But at this point, more wit doesn't really help me. Even if I get less stats, I would rather go for power or stamina here, because those stats can actually help me. Like I said, I could go 50. I could get 50 wit here. But at this point, wit doesn't do me anything. So I would rather go, I think, yeah, I would rather go power here, even if I get a lot less stats. But since this is a ace for the Champions Meeting, I would rather have more stats in stamina and power, which actually can help me and make a difference during my runs. I will still get close to 600 wit for this run. I don't need more for a late surger. More, it's overkill, right? So I would rather go with power, even if the training is dog shit, and squeeze in more stats for the aptitudes and for the stats that actually matter and make a difference during that run. That's why I said, depending on what you want to do with your Uma, if I wanted to have the highest possible rating and work towards an S rank Uma, I would have gone with wit there, no question asked, because I value stats more in that case. So again, this is something that you need to keep in mind and think for yourself, what do you want from your Uma? Should I go guts here? Or should I go power again? Nah, let's go power. And the scenario is over. Now let's see all the bonus skills we got. Yeah, Rico gives us a tons of stamina and guts here, which puts us way above the threshold. I forgot about the hot spring event. And the last event. And now the skills. Now let's pump some iron is a must for any late or end closer this cup. I also want Triumphant Pulse. Triumphant Pulse is not that useful honestly on late surgers, so maybe I will hold up on it. It's a lot more useful for pace chasers, but you know what, I'll keep it for now. You know what? I would rather take Professor of Curvature instead. Now, Rushing Gale, not necessary. It's on. It's a good skill, but it's kinda expensive, so I will hold on it. No stopping me, absolutely. It's not that good on this specific track for this CM, but if it has a very low chance of proccing, but if it procs, you most likely win. Yeah, I was right, prepare to pass is Space Chaser only. On your left is a mandatory skill, you want this skill no matter what. Outer Swell, another good skill. Furious Feet, another mandatory skill, you want to take the skill no matter what. Mile straightaways, if it was mile corners, it would have been much better. Acceleration, not really. Unyielding Spirit is a good skill. Late Surger, you know what? Give me Late Surger corners. I don't have an... Ah, and Dumastan. You know what? Unfortunately, we have to... Yeah, unfortunately, we won't take Professor of Curvature, and I will take Umastan instead. And also give me Late Surger Savvy. It's a good skill. And we still have 73 points. And it's not enough for right-hander. Whatever, outer post proficiency. Maybe we get lucky and it procs. But yeah, other than that, unfortunately, I don't have many skill points. There are a lot more useful skills here, but I have to pick and choose which ones are the best for me right now. And we have Let's Pump Some Iron, Outer Post Proficiency, No Stopping Me, On Your Left, Outer Spell, and the outside. Furious Feet, Updrafters, Late Surger Corneus, Late Surger Savvy, and Umastan. Learn. And let's see the final stats. A+. Again, could have had much better rating, but rating it's not what I prioritize in this run, right? I think it's pretty good. Trash Sparks as always, and as you can see, this is my Vodka, one of my Vodkas for the next Champions Meeting that I am thinking of using as an ace. My goal when it came to stats for this run was max speed, at least 640 stamina to make sure that even if I'm in an awful mood, I'm still above the threshold. Above 950 power, again for the same reason, even if I'm in awful mood, I'm still above the threshold. Now, when it comes to guts, a good rule of thumb, you want your stamina and guts combined to be over 1000, and in this case I have enough. Now, wit is close to 600, I would have loved to have 9 more wit to put me above that 600 threshold. I may lose a little bit because of this, but I would rather invest in stamina and power than wit. 591, it's more than enough. So yeah, this is it guys, this was my run. Let me wait a moment to put my shoe on this vodka, because this is a potential ace. I'm still not sure, I will try more vodkas and maybe I will get a better one. But I wanted to show you how to train your Uma in the new Unity Cup. And most importantly, I wanted to show you the insights, what is my thought process behind my decisions. Because in my opinion, that's the most important thing, and I feel like you can learn a lot more by learning about what you need to think of rather than me just giving you information that enters in one ear and leaves on the other, and you don't really absorb much from it. Now, maybe I will make this a series where I can take different Umas and explain the thought process and explain the thought process for all of my actions, all of my trainings, so that you can learn from it. And also, I want this to be a double way, right? If you notice that maybe I did some things wrong, or maybe I don't really have the right mindset when it comes to training, leave your suggestions in the comments. I want this to be, again, a double exchange, if you will, where hopefully you learn something from me, and maybe at the same time I can learn something from you, right? But yeah, this is it for this video. I hope that you really enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Good luck to everybody in the new Champions Meeting.